night, folks. What's good? Hope all is well with everyone. Thank you for joining us again one more time with our show. This one is Relationship, which is Adam and Eve. This is our relationship show. As we share with you that we have some shows coming up, this is one of them. So this is the third episode we are kicking off. And, we'd encourage you to have, if you have comments, you can, sometimes within these shows, we're going to have we're going to have a live stream as well where you can interact with us live one-on-one. But for now, you can post your comments on the show. Once we post it, you can make your comments underneath the show, the video itself on YouTube and so forth, or TikTok or wherever we post this. And share your thoughts and your views and stuff like that. Also, please like, share, and subscribe. Please like, share, and subscribe. Tell a friend, tell a family member, tell everyone you can share this with. And also, if you have anyone would like to come on the show, feel free. Any one of our shows, we open this for the public as well. That if you want to join and be a part of the show, to share your 2 cents, to share some knowledge with us, because at the end of the day, we all are learning. We all have our opinions on our different factors, but when we come together to understand and to collaborate and to, kind of break things down so everyone would be on the same page, and it's a learning curve. Everyone is learning. So if you're willing to come on the show, or if you know someone who would probably want to participate on any one of these shows, whether it's our Adam and Eve show, relationship show, or political show, or just our casual generic show, what we have randomly at times, you can send us an email. It's the garage stu@gmail.com. And you can just make a post or comment. Do we have a phone number online on our YouTube channel as well? You can, I can't remember it offhand, but it's there. If you look it up, you can call, leave a voicemail, or send an email, vice versa. Thank you again for joining us one more time. We are going to jump right in our program. We have some special guests, a part of this show. For those of you have watched the one episode, the 2 episodes already on the relationship show, one was animated, one was, it wasn't really a fully structured relationship show. It was kind of in between, but this is a full-fledged relationship show, what episode we are going to talk about. So without further ado, we're going to jump right into it. Welcome, guys. Thank you for stopping by the garage and to share our thoughts as we discuss this. As we discussed this kind of heavy topic. I guess we will see how things from her perspective. We will see how things are going and how they view certain things. And we collaborate, well, not collaborate, we share our viewpoints from our side, from a male perspective as well. And you may defend her as well as I may defend her, or she may defend, So this is the beauty of different personalities, different mindset, different thinking, Anyway, I'm going to let the cast introduce themselves. To usually do that on our other show, but I'm gonna let them do this now. So, tell us about what's your name.
I was kind of off guard. My name's Angel. Good night.
Good night. Okay, and beautiful young lady here.
I'm Antoinette, but the alias is Antland.
Okay, and me, the host, Mike, from Mike and Mike, and the regular shows as usual. Again, welcome back. So without further ado, we're going to jump right into our program. Our topic tonight we are discussing is talk about beautiful fool versus unattractive intelligence.
Oh, yes. We're looking at me, aren't we?
Wait. There's 2 different categories. It's
a versus.
It's a versus. So we have beautiful fool and unattractive intelligence. Mm-hmm. So in other words, folks, you have females and males out there that, well, from the male side, it would be handsome, or wouldn't say pretty, but
beautiful too.
Not really. I mean,
He said,
I wouldn't. I don't know how to. I wouldn't say man is beautiful. I mean,
immaculate. Those are the words I would describe a man. Immaculate, handsome, chiseled, things of that nature. Those are the words. Beautiful is a
Mike.
painting. Beautiful would I describe like a object or a female. I feel like it is disrespectful to the male.
To say like it kind of like emasculate.
Demasculate. And
like-
that's
Yeah,
what
because-
our government wants. They want to demasculate the man.
I think
so you think a man is beautiful?
absolutely. I think not to like
The
drift too
definition.
far from the aesthetics of it, but I think beautiful is like also a quality. Like with respect to the appearance, it's also somebody got like beautiful ways, beautiful style. You understand? You open the door for a young lady, you give it courtesy, you express empathy.
Okay, I see where you're going, which makes sense. That is true, but we are talking about the physicality of the person.
Okay.
So, look at her, you would say she's very
pretty sure our
attractive,
audience-
right?
I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I'm pretty sure our audience would agree too. They'd be like
I will
Okay.
say.
Agree with what?
I will say.
that male could be
Beautiful.
categorized as beautiful.
It is. I will say this: beauty is in the eyes of the beholder, but as the definition stands, I would like us to really take a gander into the definition of beautiful.
I mean, we can get definitional about it. I mean, I have no problem getting. I have no problem getting definitional about it. If we gotta go into what the definition of beauty is, then we're looking at appearance, right?
Like you said, it is a overall thing, but if we're looking at the definition, this is Oxford English Dictionary definition. Beautiful, it's more for a woman. It is a woman's. It is female.
Like something attributed to a woman.
Yes.
See, because the word develop beautiful. Is it? The question is it isolated towards a female? Because when we look in the dictionary, we see. I think that we can look up. If we look up the word beautiful, if it create a description surrounding a female, or it just describe a generic.
Right. You kind of just
Thing, yeah.
make my point too, because like it's very valid. Like women are beautiful, but like I said, you don't want to just confine beauty to just one gender. You understand me?
And you don't.
We coexist, and I feel like if a woman could be beautiful, then a man can be beautiful too. Like you said, it's from the eyes of the beholder. So, from a woman watching, I'm pretty sure they could say that's a beautiful man. Another man probably won't say it because conventionally it's not accepted, right?
Right. I think this is where, for me, it wouldn't bother me. From my perspective, it wouldn't bother me at the end of it. But when it comes to men, you describing them using a word that geared towards what we know and grew up hearing towards a female, it's gonna feel, how we call it, masculine offensive, because now you're breaking them because you describing a male as that they are beautiful. Often the time you hear that word when it comes from someone in mouth is describing a female. So if you describing a man like that he's beautiful, my opinion thinks that society is going to look on that person as homosexual.
That's my fear. That is why I'm so frank on that. Its definition, like it's
Right,
subtle,
or
but
even weak. You know what I mean? Like, you might have some undertones to it. You know what I mean? Like, you might say, okay, if a man is beautiful, then he's not strong, he's not powerful.
you gotta see it from a standpoint as a woman, like as a woman who sees what
Talk up.
as a woman who see what other women are capable of, beautiful is another word to demasculate a man if in the mouth of the wrong woman.
I mean that, but I feel like
That's
Con-
how I feel.
I feel like confidence too also plays a solid role. Like if you're confident in like who you are as a person, then a name is definitely not going to diminish you. It's not going to take anything from you.
I agree. I agree. However, again, you have to look on how society paint this picture, because, as I said, for me, it won't bother me at the end of the day. And you use the term confidence.
It's very endearing.
You know, I know who I am. I know what I am, and so forth. So, someone called me, "Yo, Mike, you know, you're beautiful," and stuff like that. Yeah, I will take it as a compliment. Would I feel some type of way?
Depending on who he's coming from.
I feel some type of way for you.
Probably, probably. But at the same time, I mean, I have to figure out that it's just a word describing something that is extravagant, that is on the norm, that is not normal, because when you look in society today, when you look at females, you look at males and stuff like that, kids, child, animals and stuff like that, like one of the things where I like with this dog, the husky, they're beautiful dogs. You see them? They're shaggy. Huh? Majestic.
See, this is okay. My thing is definition is key. You guys may think, you can twirl around the definitions of things. In this day and age, the way our world is working, it is imperative that we all understand the definition of words to its T. Because at a slightest hand, whatever, just like it has to do with the play of words, how words can be manipulated. It's down in the Bible, where the Bible is said that it could be used as a tool against itself towards others. It says it in the Bible that the Bible could.
You're talking about words?
Yes, words in general. Words, I think, over time, it shows that if someone has the proper linguistic skills to understand words to the point of manipulation, you can do a lot of things on this world. On this planet, you can do a lot of things.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I'm not opposed to that. I agree with that.
When it comes now to definitions, and this is why I say understanding a definition to its T can define a conversation, because how you two may view the word beautiful, I understand its definition of beautiful. I know that it can be used.
I think we all understand, but we don't.
But applying it as such.
Yeah, but I think that the scope of the word beautiful is so broad. Like the scope of it. There's a different category of things that we can see is beautiful.
How you can use it is broad. I will say that, but its definition still will remain.
Narrow mind, it would kind of isolate it.
It still has a very positive connotation. Like when we say beautiful, we're not talking about anything negative.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Beautiful ugly. You're pretty ugly.
Pretty ugly. You see this?
That would be oxymoronic, though. That's gonna fly. But I think what we getting at somebody like not so attractive, but very intelligent.
Right. So, folks, let me kind of restructure, because we kind of shift a little bit to pertaining to the topic what we're talking about. So we use the word beautiful fool. Sorry, beautiful fool, and unintelligent, unattractive, intelligent. So what that means is that, would you rather have a partner? I mean, on the context we are talking about relationship, would you rather have a partner that is beautiful, but intellectually our mind is poor, rather than having someone who is not that great in beauty, but very intelligent? So that's the structure of what we are talking about. How would you have a partner? Which one of those you would select as a partner. And I think where I can, if I'm safe to say, from a male perspective, I think we are physical being. We are physically. Our attitude towards how we choose a partner is physicality. And don't get me wrong, from the male to the female perspective is all physicality. One of the things I usually say is that if you don't have a physical attraction to someone who you want to get involved with, it's not going to last. The relationship, it will not last. It will fail. Now, that is my perspective.
I'm sorry. That sounds very shallow, respectfully.
And it is fine. This is what the forum is all about. We talk and we disagree. So physicality is the one of the core from my opinion is one of the core. Just like really, I'll get to that there. But physicality is the core of her maintenance a relationship, whether it's marriage, boyfriend and girlfriend.
No, that's a fact. That's a fact.
Right. So again, what I'm saying is,
for me, honestly, it shouldn't supersede intelligence.
if I'm unattractive towards her, how I am going to build a relationship with her?
She'll be in love with your mind. What do you think? Were you able to handle certain account and finances?
But I have to remember, intimacy is also a part of the relationship. So again, if I am not physically attracted to her, I will not gonna incorporate intimacy inside of the relationship.
Not
I
readily.
honestly feel like that's eyes of the beholder kind of thing. That's where
What?
Because everybody has their own taste. Every man has their own taste. Every woman has their own taste. So if we are to talk about like what would catch the eye, it would depend on that individual. Would you agree?
I agree 100%.
Okay, so let me clean this up. It doesn't mean when I said physicality, it has to be, and I'm going to stick with my gut. It has to be some type of physicality, some type of physical attraction
That's what
there.
I'm saying. That's
It has
what
to
I'm
be.
saying,
But
man.
now let me narrow it down some more now. The physical doesn't mean that you have to have a Coca-Cola bottle shape
I know,
or
that's
she's
what I
beautiful.
mean.
It could be her smile.
Right.
It could be her eyes.
That's what I'm
You know,
saying.
it could be how she walked. But it has to be some type of physical attraction towards that person.
Right. I feel like everybody has that though. Like even when someone says, "Oh, I don't have a preference," that's a preference.
That's a preference.
Not having a preference is a preference. That means you are able
You're open to anything, any look, any type.
Not even open to any look, any type. That you're looking for a specific thing, and once you find that thing, everything else looks like gold and sunflowers. That's
But
really
if-
how
That's a great
some
point.
people
The-
go about life. I've had that instances several times in my life where I found someone, I think they're the greatest thing on earth, but showing them to friends, I made fun of,
So
I,
you said you made fun of
What do you
it.
mean?
I've been called Princess Tiana once. You know Tiana, Princess Tiana?
Who's Princess Diana?
Princess and the Frog.
Oh, that okay.
I've been called Princess Tiana.
But see, that's where confidence comes in again. 'Cause
But-
nobody
but
can break
I
your
guess-
confidence
Not one bit.
without your consent.
Of course.
But I'm assuming though that is because of the type of person you picked. They did not subscribe to that type of a person. How that person look?
Correct. Now, my peers are dating guys tall, fit, skinny. They're going for like a nice build. I get whatever God or the world gives me that I think is for me. I do not have a picky thing because at the end of the day, I may pick something that's not for me, while the option that I should have taken is just looking at me may not be what I'm particularly accustomed to seeing. I'm not I'm sorry. I am so new to the podcast thing. I would say like I personally toads. I have dated a few toads, and not a lot of people like toads.
Frogs.
Toad,
Right.
so
Not a
translate.
lot of toads, frogs, ninja turtles. There's a
Oh, yeah, so these
For
are
the-
like people.
Were they smart? Did they have money?
oh yeah,
So
very
these are
smart.
toads, meaning these are people who are height or
a height and ugly.
oh, okay.
A very high ugly factor according to others. Others would consider them ugly,
Relatively speaking.
Okay.
relatively speaking. But yeah, the good-looking ones are the ugly ones, in my opinion.
That's deep. That's deep.
The
They
good-looking ones. Are,
That's
well,
deep.
I can see from that standpoint. Yes, in the contents of.
A lot of options.
Remember, if you look on the topic, beautiful fool or unattractive intelligence. So,
I obviously go with unattractive.
so
I'll go with unattractive intelligence. I'll give you 100 reasons why.
well,
I could give you
so coming stick up in this. So, the what I want to piggyback off is that when you share that with the different personality, the different attraction, right? So every one of us have some type of attraction. Every one of us have some type of thing what gonna attract us to that someone. So that person that would say, "Oh, well, I don't really have a preference." You do have a preference.
Yeah, that's a
it may be not wide scale, like it's more hardcore. Like I need him to be tall, or I need him to be brown. And, I need her to have hazel eyes. I need her.
Or
to,
they just want somebody for convenience.
right.
that too. But each one of us have a preference of who we like, who we care for, who draw us emotionally. Because remember, as I said, if we don't have a physical attraction,
So we're talking for long term. Somebody for keeps.
really, even if it's for keeps or short term, you still need that
say
physical.
relationship, I
Yeah,
think
you
of
still need that physical
long-term.
attraction.
Right.
And if you don't have that physical attraction, I met someone. Let's say I meet someone on the street, and I think she's great. I think she's pretty and stuff like that, right?
Right.
But yet, when I started dealing with her, her intellectual, or she have bad attitude,
Yeah.
right? I mean, she may even have the intelligence,
Which
but
makes
you
which,
just have a
which
nasty
makes her
attitude.
ugly.
It would make anyone
Make
look a
her
little
ugly emotionally, or emotionally, characteristic wise.
Somebody can
yeah.
say
But-
he has a beautiful mind. Like he kind of know what I'm thinking. He kind of know what I want. He knows what to do around the house. He knows, what I mean, to set the tone.
So let me go back. You've mentioned that you have about 1,000 reasons why you would choose unattractive intelligence.
Sorry, I'm having trouble hearing you.
But, yeah.
Google trying to butt
Okay.
Google trying to butt in.
Nah, because I think not even. Think,
So what is what is one of a few of your or one of your main reasons
Because
why?
I feel like somebody who's very attractive, but they're not like intellectually savvy or up to par. They'd be very manipulable. It wouldn't be hard to coerce them or convince them or persuade them, right? Because
gullible.
right, that is very gullible, so to speak. So you don't kind of want to go with that because you don't have any like stability with that. You want to have somebody that could make very sound decisions. Somebody who's not going to get excited because somebody pay him a compliment. They always going to know what they have at home. So that's why I don't want like beauty to overshadow intelligence, because I feel like intelligence is like the core of what we look for in a person. It doesn't matter if the person not that attractive. I feel like if somebody's not that attractive, that's my cup of tea. I'm gonna like her how she is. I'm gonna like her how I like her, and I ain't gotta worry about too many people pressing her too tough.
You brought up a point just now, and I want to stick in the back burner and come back to it. So the question is also, you think when we, based on the topic, you think a fool is it more of someone who is unintelligent or doesn't understand what is common sense
I think it's.
I mean,
in the context of a relationship?
When
I mean, they
when I
got
think
common
of
sense.
fool in a relationship, I
Real-
just think of somebody more. I think of people on the spectrum. I don't know.
break that down for me.
I think when I say on the spectrum, I think like mentally, learning wise, they haven't got it yet.
Like an intellectual disability or. And if that,
Like
I
a
think it gotta
learning
be that.
disability.
Yeah, I think in psychology it's called impressionable, right? Individuals who are very impressionable. It doesn't take a lot to get them to do something like lose themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
You understand? You could actually convince them or persuade them to do things like they'll think after they act. You understand me?
Yeah.
But a smart person, no matter how they look,
So I am-
think
Gonna think
and act.
I am
Right.
gathering that when we use the term beautiful fool, we are talking about poor intellect. That's what I'm getting.
I would say I wouldn't say intelligence because I feel even intelligent people lack intelligence.
That is why I am putting
don't-
this out there because
I'd like to think of it as like someone who's just a little slow. That's why I was saying spectrum, you don't pick up too quickly when it relationship wise.
Mhm.
When you say like beautiful fool, I think of that as like Kanye. I immediately think
He's
about
a genius.
Kanye. Exactly. But look how he acts. You get what I'm saying?
action
where I'm
is action.
Case in point, though.
No, but that's where I'm going with it.
I like that.
You
I
know.
like that. Go
I mean, he's on point. He's on point in a
Take
sense.
off. I like that. I like
Now
that.
ask
In
him how
context,
his-
is on point.
Ask
Yeah.
him how his relationships is going right these days. You know, right?
I sometimes I wonder about like,
I can tell you, it's going to shit. Kay does not have her way. He's a mean guy to everybody. I'm telling you, everybody thinks he's a mean, crazy.
I think something
what is-
psychologically wrong with
Right.
his
No,
mental.
no.
Nah.
He's
It's
been-
just different, right?
you know, this is how he's figured out to work the world, and that's how he's gonna do it until something better, a different formula comes along, and he can use that. This is his formula. There's just some people in life who have their own life formula and refuse to evolve from it. Because you're supposed to upgrade your living formula. I call it living formula, but you're supposed to upgrade your living formula
That's like the word to use, evolve.
as you evolve.
It's full.
Some people just say, "Hey, this
They
is what
stay
works.
stagnant.
I like
Very complacent.
I like this place. This is nice. Even though it's a little small, I'm growing out of it. I'ma just stay here and grow where I am instead of moving to another."
So, fool then is someone not so much of lack of intelligence, but fool is more of someone who are a little bit slow in the contents of or in a relationship to comprehend certain things. Maybe
or refuse to comprehend those things. Because some people cannot.
well, that wouldn't be slow. That would be more stubborn, or yeah. I mean, if you were telling me to
Trying
do
to find
something
an advocate for
and I
that.
don't want to do it, I'm not doing it, and it's not slow. It's just stubbornness.
Right.
Then again,
Yeah, but then you gotta.
it could be a situation where you're not comprehend, but then this is your responsibility to say, okay, what do you mean? What do you mean? I
but
don't understand.
A lot of that action is not voluntary, though.
What?
A lot of people comprehension is not voluntary.
That's what I
You
wanted
understand?
to
Because
point out too.
like part of being smart is having a high emotional intelligence. Like silence is also a sound. We're supposed to listen instead of ignore it. Somebody's silent and they're being unusual about it, it means something is off. A smart person is going to read into that and say something is off, but that comes with emotional intelligence. You know when somebody's having a bad day. You know their pattern. You know their behavior. You know when something's off with them. That's why I feel like it's very, very important to not have the aesthetics like overshadow the intelligence. It's very smart. And even if somebody's not immediately intelligent or intelligent like at a current point, we could always develop skills. Like I think a big part of an issue in society is that we want somebody to be ready made instead of actually seeing somebody's potential, right?
Growing with them.
Right. If you see somebody like, I know people like they were very delinquent, but they found people who invested in them. All of a sudden, they started like reading, being more family oriented, being more focus driven. You understand?
So you think this all? I mean, this is good points you're making. So you think all of this would surround intelligence?
Yeah. Well, we have to. First of all, somebody can't like us just because we exist. You understand? Somebody have to like us because they could see a future with us. When people talk about good vibes also means good intentions. You understand? So we kind of want to rock with somebody that has good intentions with us.
But how do you know when someone has a good intentions? How can you define when if I see Anne and I say let's say I want to date her, then how would I know? I mean, we're gonna go through the dating process, but how would I know that she's a person with good intentions for me to date? Or if I see some female on the street, another female or whatever the case may be, how do I define that this person has good intentions where I can build a relationship with that person? How would I know that?
That's a great question. That's a great question. I think most importantly, you're gonna converse, of course, and they'll pick up on little things. You understand me? You might talk about a job interview you have. You might talk about an appointment that you have, or you might talk about something you want to pursue. Somebody with good intentions might remind you, what I mean, did you go there? They're not just going to ignore it. How was your day today? Like how's your family? Stuff that interests you is also going to start trickling and start to interest them too. You understand me?
Being a devil advocate for a second. So you know that people, it maybe not a lot, but you know people out there would mask these information. For instance, they don't have good intentions, but they would pretend to have these types of
opportunists
because they want to gain some type of access in your life. So whatever the purpose is of them gaining access to your life, whether it's just to be around you for a year or two, or just to be with you because you have status, or whatever the case may be, their intention is not genuine in sense of I want to be with you to build, but I just want to be with you because, and they would put off this facade to get in your circle, to get amongst you. I mean, to come. So they can paint the picture where you like, how was your interview? And I create that illusion that they are interested, that they care. Right. People, I'm not saying is that, but you have to look at it from a wider scale. It may be minute in sense of the type of people who do stuff like this, but it's out there. How do you create your mechanism, your defense mechanism to prevent stuff like that from happening?
Well,
yeah.
I mean, you go from trait, like, I guess, profile, that person's profile. If they have similar profiles to people you would put a red flag to, then you would go like, if you don't mind, do I mind if I use you as an example? So the day I met you, right, I knew I had somewhat of a green flag.
How so?
Patience. He had patience with me that day because I wanted to go back upstairs and do something and then come back down, and he gave me that grace to do that. Some men would be irritable because they think I'd run away. He thought I was gonna run away. He definitely thought I was gonna run away. But you know, the men I'm used to conversing with like that, just you know, going about my day, would have a different feel to it. So I knew I had a solid green flag with the patience. And when you have patience, you know that somebody with the profile of patience is going to be not only, they won't be as understanding, but they will take their time to understand.
Take the time to understand. I like that.
Right. I think that's a better way to put it. So I know that when I met you and you were patient, I knew that understanding is something you are well versed with, or you know, the patience to learn to understand or figure out what it is for your better understanding. I knew that is something I can look forward to, if that makes sense.
It makes a lot of sense.
You
It
know,
makes a lot of sense.
so those are like when we talk about like what you would see as red flags or green flags, because these days that's what they put them as, like red flags in a person that are good, that are red flags in a person that are bad, and green flags in a person that are good, you know. So like I'd say, you know, patience, consideration, communication, a certain type of understanding for life.
I like that.
You know, like life is gonna throw bowling balls at you when you're not even looking. So if it's doing it for you, imagine your significant other. So just to have an understanding, just even with that, and that even if they don't understand, they can still be at peace with you instead of causing conflict next to you, you know? I think those are like the factors of...
That's solid. They just,
Yeah.
granted, they remain consistent.
Yes.
Right. So
Yes.
it comes down to, again, we are now, how do you, you may have someone, as what she created the example, and you may have someone now who is, I would say, who is patient. You may have someone who's kind, and they would have these attributes. But yet, in the back end of it, you don't know this though, but in the back of it, they are devils. And this is go both sides. This is not any side picking.
Do your homework.
This is go both sides. Now, how do you, because again, you can sit there, you can date someone for a good long time. I mean, I used to say that it doesn't take me 6 months or 6 years or a year to know someone character trait of who they are. I don't know the core of their structure, the core of who they are. But I give me an idea within a week or days. Just talk with the person. You would have some type of a sense of where you need to go with this person, whether it's business, platonic relationship, or intimate relationship. You would have an idea. I mean, again,
Romantic. Okay.
yeah, again, that people can mislead you. People can pretend that they are something what they are not. Pretend that they have a certain attribute, certain characteristics, and they are not. They don't have those type of attributes. I mean, they're like far from those attributes, but they are playing this mouse and catch game, right? Because they're gonna pretend that they're such and such because you like that type of quality.
Right.
They sense that you
They'll
like
play
that
their
type
whole,
of
they'll
quality.
play their role.
Right. So they're gonna play this engineering role to catch your attention. You're gonna like that because remember, that's your forte. That's what you like. That's what gravitates towards you. You know, you're looking for someone like that to build with. And they don't have those type of attributes, but they say, you know what? I want him. And for me to get into that circle, I can't have this type of a nasty behavior, nasty character, and he's gonna choose me. So what I'm gonna do is gonna transform, and I'm gonna pretend that I am something that I am not. So again, as I share with you, how do you filter out? How do you drag, or how do you find an individual who you use the word genuine early on and sincere? How can you find someone? How can you know the trait of someone by just talking to them for 1, 2, 3 times, knowing that they do mean you good?
I think everything at the end of the day has to add up. You understand me? If somebody keep telling you they got $5 and you see them with $10 ways, and it's going on for a long time, you know something is amiss. You understand me?
Good point.
If somebody, because whenever you pretending, that stuff has to, you kind of have to rehearse that. You know, it does, right? It does not come naturally. You know what I'm saying? So you can hear when certain people talk, like they don't have a car, but they would talk about they're on the highway on vacation, because people forget. You know what I'm saying? If you're being yourself, then it's natural. You ain't got to rehearse that. That's easy. But I think it's also important to have like a great solid network of individuals or friends or people around you. You know, that way somebody that you could confide in, you could talk with. You know, you get their perspective. And you also do your research. You go online, see somebody's profile, see what they're saying. You know, are they hiding anything? Are they being like open? You know what I'm saying? Because if you're a smart person, which we should all be, you understand? We should all try to read and just look at educational stuff and see whatever could enhance our qualities, our abilities, and improve us. Self-development is extremely important. What's the word you used earlier? Imperative. I feel like we have to make sure we continually learn stuff.
That is another thing, which is for another topic. We have another topic called social media as well. But I want to kind of incorporate it a little bit because one of the things I try to do, we are trying to like project like the topics what we have towards the show, what we're going to discuss for the future shows as well. We kind of want to piggyback off some of these other topics within those future show to come, and one of them are social media. And it's not all the time you can use social media as a tool to kind of define someone's character.
It can help, but it's not an overall.
Yeah, it's not. I mean, and most likely, I think social media would be most likely drive you away from that person, because the average Joe that you see on social media out there, they post things, they say some things, and it's not really a part of their character. It's not truly of their character. Maybe they just blend in because of friends and stuff like that. So
they pretend to be happy.
That's me. I tell you right now, that's me. That's my social media. I'm full of smiles, but you know, if you bother me,
but
in
deep
person,
down you,
yeah, it's not that.
That's a great point.
It really is. It really is. Wow, you know.
It is. I mean, but I'm anxious to talk about the social media because also that's also affecting
Relationships
homes, and relationship, families, kids, and stuff like that, which is still a part of the relationships.
Affecting, breaking,
hurting, dismantling, the whole shebang. But one of the things too. So, how do you guys look on intelligence? What do you see a person who is intelligent that you would say, this is for me? What is your perspective? Let's say you're looking for someone and the category they are part of is intelligence. What type of intelligence are you looking for in that partner or that person you're seeking to have a relationship with?
I don't know about any other lady out there, but I do know for myself, I look for, I don't want a man, to go over the periodic table of elements with me. I don't want a man that, who could build a supercomputer from scratch. I'm not asking that. I am asking for a man who has all life skills attached to him, along with the intelligence to converse with others and me. Not just others and me, significant other. You understand? I think that is something that gets lost in translation as a woman. Where a man's like, oh, you just want someone with money and intelligence. It was like, no, not really. If I can get one, the other has no choice to appear. You get what I'm saying?
Right, because a smart person is likely yield great financial stability.
So
Right.
what is your same question to you? What is your thoughts on someone? What do you?
I think in layman's term, like we say, someone who understands, who gets you, someone who not so like overly into themselves. You understand? They more want to know how you doing, how was your day, family oriented, like emotional intelligence. I feel like goes a long way.
Okay.
You understand? Know when I'm not talking, something is off. You understand me? When's the time to approach me? Do I do better in the morning? Do I do better in the afternoon? Do I do better a certain part of the day?
Would you consider that as intelligent, or you would study as a pattern? Because I can study someone behavior, actually appropriate better word, behavior learning.
That would be some type of learning it would require intelligence. I think that would require intelligence because
Right.
if you can pick up on a pattern, that's a level of intelligence to be picking up on it. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah. Because okay, so you look on someone out
It's just
there,
how
and
fast. Sorry.
you look on someone out there who's maybe even the word, I don't want to go to that level, but let's say illiterate, can't read and write. Yet they're surviving because they probably have also a significant. I have seen that before. Have a significant, a partner, growing and building together with, and they're illiterate, but yet they're surviving in a relationship. So would you say that's intelligent? Because now they understand, okay, my wife or my girlfriend or whatever the case may be, the friends, whatever the situation towards that relationship. Now he's in a learning mood where, you know what, at the end of the day, I'm studying her pattern. Maybe she don't like if I do this, she get upset. If I don't do that, she do this. He started studying behavior.
Studying.
Yeah, behavior study. Now, does that require intellect? Because if someone,
Absolutely.
If you have to study for it, of course it requires an intellect.
well, remember, he's ignorant. I mean, not ignorant. He's illiterate.
Illiteracy doesn't push
how
past
do
the fact
you-
you can't learn. You just won't be able to learn with certain tools. Like
Right.
writing or reading, you won't be able to learn with certain tools, but you can learn with different tools that you don't have those tools.
Agree.
So if we put this towards a relationship terms now, right? If I can understand maybe visual, maybe it may not be audio where someone tells me, but if I can comprehend it through observing another relationship and seeing how that could correlate to mine, then that is a type of learning which breeds intelligence because you have evolved yourself to understand that this relationship is not the same like my relationship. What is going on over here that makes this look more needed to be studied than mine? You know, being able to pinpoint that in the first place is another sign of intelligent overall.
Right, big time.
Well, look at it this way. Someone who cannot read, do you know they know right from wrong, right? They know,
Yes.
but they can't read and write
They can't read it, so
because
the
they were
knowledge is
taught,
not
right?
extensive. Yeah.
So would you say they have some type of intelligence, and
Yes.
because
They
they
all have intelligence.
Everybody
Super
is
intelligent.
it's how far you've evolved in that intelligence that would make you illiterate. You understand?
Mhm.
So I can be in first grade. I get left back 4 times. I'm still in the first grade. There's no kids in the grade. They've gone, left me. I'm still in that grade. Would you consider me illiterate? Yes. I haven't
No,
learned.
I wouldn't
Yeah.
consider you illiterate. I would consider you special. you're slow. I mean, this is what we're talking about. You're
That's
slow,
what
right? So, but it
You know?
does it mean that your lack of intelligence?
That's where I'm getting
Yes,
to.
too.
Right.
But you have some type of you see, you're in the process of learning. You're developing your mental state to think on average, or think above average. Better yet.
I got a question for him too.
So
We'll see if he can guess.
at the end of the day, okay. So here's the not to tongue tie or twist up anything, folks, and get confused. So my question is this: do you think intelligence is based on having a degree?
No.
No, definitely not.
No.
Because that respectfully to everybody with a degree, that's academic intelligence. You understand me?
Mm-hmm.
We can study and pass tests. It doesn't mean that we could be street smart. I know people. I surround myself with all the time. They're like, yo, we got to dip. Like, what you mean we got to dip? You get home and you see some of the news. like, oh.
That's what you meant.
That's what you meant, right?
Yeah. So
I had that
I don't,
moment.
all respectfully, you know what I mean? I don't want to just dismiss somebody's ability, like you were saying, because they might not have that academic excellence. You understand me? There are people who can't read and write, but they're very street smart. You understand? They know how to make $1.
Would that make them
They know how to
intelligent?
hustle. Yes.
Of course, it's
And
their
they're
own
all right.
level of intelligence.
In their own right. That's why it's seriously important for people to not get too caught up in the trends of what society demands or want or what beauty looks like. You understand me?
Agreed.
Because social media beauty or OnlyFans beauty is not the only beauty that exists, only beauty that works.
Mm-hmm.
You understand?
Feasible.
Right, feasible. You need a nice young lady. She laid back. She might not have enough confidence. You might have to build up her confidence, but she's very beautiful. You can see her like she's very respectful to people.
Mm-hmm.
She has a lot of ambition, a lot of drive. She helps others, very considerate. You understand? So those things I feel like are beautiful, like qualities too. Somebody might be very attractive, but they got very, very poor qualities. So
that would come down to the beautiful fool.
yeah, they're gonna mess up your finance. They're gonna mess up your relationship with your mom, with your kids.
Mm-hmm.
You understand? Because they're just too much into themselves and their beauty.
Well, so that would more of being conceited. It's not really lack of intelligence. It's more like something kind of a narcissist slash having a lot of conceitment within themselves. I mean, prideful of themselves.
How many girls or women and men, they're very attractive societally, like as far as, generally speaking, they could get a man, get a girl, they have plenty of options. And they can make a decision. You understand?
Mm-hmm.
A smart person is gonna make a decision, and they make the right decision like repeatedly. They're gonna make the right decision more than likely the first time. Then they keep making mistakes and mistakes.
But oftentimes I keep on hearing this: smart person make right decision. I beg to differ because we have intelligent people out there on a daily basis that makes, I'm gonna be raw, dumb decisions. master's degree, PhDs, you know, the whole shebang.
I know people.
They have those
I
stuff,
know
and
people
they're making dumb
I know-
decisions on a daily
I know
basis.
somebody who lost a client's money today, $50,000.
My brother was in a cult before, and then he
Is
left
that?
NASA. So.
But they're considered
That's crazy.
intelligent on the spectrum.
Yeah.
Up there, you understand?
Yeah.
But you said you would think they up there, right?
Mm-hmm.
So they lost the 50,000. I don't know what the situation is. I mean, is it an act? It could be an accident. Well, so you have
Making the wrong investment, playing with clients' money.
okay. So,
Yeah.
but I didn't know you didn't. I didn't hear that part.
You gotta
You said-
study, see what's going on. Like I think the only way we could be smart is if we stay abreast of what's going on in life and what changes. You understand? Like respectfully, I've seen I don't want to personalize this too much, but I've seen one of my friends invest in his lady to go to school. Like, while she was going to school, you just messing around, not developing yourself. You understand me?
Mm-hmm.
Now she done outpaced you and outgrade. You understand me? Now she make this much money, you make this much money. She's seeing you that you weren't so ambitious, bro. No matter how you help her. You know what I mean?
You don't have the ambition.
She don't have. It's just one of them things that we have.
Isn't it one of the things where I
develop
guess
ourselves?
she got supported from her significant, and when she reached
From her,
on a-
but he should have also been doing something to improve himself too.
so he was just supporting her and improving her, help her to improve herself, but he wasn't focused on himself.
Right.
Oh, okay, I see where you see where you're coming from with that. Well,
But being intelligent is being abreast of what's going on.
Yes.
What change? What's new? What new development? What new
So
science?
would you? I would look on that as is not so much. That would be more of he's trying to please his partner, not build with his partner. So because remember, he may have. You know, you have some guys who have head over heels over female, and you have some female who are head over heels over female. And the term when I use head over heel, meaning like they're very attracted to them, they love them, they like them, they adore that person, they want to be with that person, right? So head over heels, and vice versa from each species. You know, from the male, from the male
gender,
and gender, right? So. At the end of the day, you have that type of that type of connect. So how do you define? I kind of losing train of thought where I was getting at, but in essence, what I'm saying is that if this individual, I'm trying to. Sorry, folks. I'm trying to gain back my thought of the question because it's like another question came up in my mind or another comment came up in my mind, and it kind of collided and losing my thoughts of what I originally want. But I'm gonna drift off, and when I do remember, I'm gonna come back to it. But overall, is that we have people that makes dumb decisions. We have smart people we claim that makes dumb decisions. People with degrees and stuff like that, and specifically in context, we are in a relationship. We are going to make foolish decision in a relationship every time. You know, bad decision, no matter what it takes, no matter how smart we are going to make foolish decision in a relationship. Now, how do you structure that for it to work out in both favors? Like, I'm not saying that you're going to look for a foolish decision to make and then trying to work it out to make it benefit the relationship. But I'm saying that decisions, like example, we are going to get sick. Every one of us are going to get sick one day, right? Now, the plan is when we get sick, how do we recover from getting sick? Or what we can do to prevent us from possibly getting sick. We are going to get sick.
That's a bigger question.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
How we try to work or live to prevent.
We have vessels. We have things in place. You understand me? We have to have things in place. We have to anticipate certain things happening and prepare for it. Just like we say, you know what? There might be rainy days, so I gotta have a little bit of savings, a a safety net or whatever. You know, there's a possibility I could get sick. How can I get some insurance? You know what I'm saying? Before it happens. But I think to answer your question more specifically, I feel like whenever we pursue something, we have to have an end goal. We all have to have goal. So then the question becomes, who's gonna better get me to my goal?
Right.
Where do I see myself 5, 10 years from now? What do I hope to have in life? What do I hope to accomplish? So we have to start there, right? It's kind of like a benchmark to be like, okay, but if you have no direction, no destination, then you're just shooting darts in the dark.
Okay.
You know, we have to be very purposeful. We have to say, okay, I want to have this in life. I want to have this in life. You understand?
Okay, got you.
So you set your criteria. You just don't take what comes to you.
I'm gonna say this topic is like something I can understand, especially after like my last 2 relationships. I can say like I have found myself not only as the beautiful idiot, but I've found myself as, in my eyes, as not physically, but like personality wise, I felt like I've turned from beautiful fool to ugly intelligence.
That's what you consider yourself as?
Now,
Or that was back then?
back then,
Oh, okay.
I felt like both in one. I would say, like at a point, I felt like I was pretty to the point where I didn't feel like going over myself was necessary.
What does that mean? Say
Like evaluating myself was necessary. I didn't like for the beautiful fool, like, and then at that time too, I think, well, not I think, I would say that I was just more of in the bliss of my own beauty. You know, when a woman comes into her own beauty, a lot of things happen. You get things easier, things are done for you quicker, as my experience is, because I do find myself beautiful overall, even though I may think I'm ugly sometimes. Even in my ugly, I am constantly reminded that I am pretty.
But you don't
I'm a
lose your
beautiful
standards,
woman.
do you? You don't lose your standards. You still know what you're looking for, right?
Of course, like in this, I think here's where the beautiful fool comes in, because it is because I know myself. I am told constantly who I am. Besides me knowing, is where the fool would come in particular. This is what I mean by the beautiful fool. I don't think it also has to do with intelligence wise. I think it just has to deal with a mindset that you will also be in as the being you
The
are.
fool you're talking about?
Yes, beautiful fool.
So you between those two
As to where
subtopics.
hold on. As to where when you are a ugly fool, you kind of not ugly fool,
Unattractive,
unattractive,
intelligent.
Intelligence, as you grow to appreciate your own beauty, as where you, as a beautiful fool, you would be told constantly. You understand? I feel like because of the two, like where I was in that relationship after would where I am in that, where I was or am now in my life to where that relationship is. Audience, I'm sorry if I'm a little backwards. I am dyslexic. I do want to make that known. So if the words get flippity floppity, please keep that in mind. The dyslexia over here is real. I deal with it daily, hourly, minutely. that being said, I do think that on the intelligent unattractive intelligence, I think that once I broke out of the beautiful fool, where I'm so used to hearing, where I don't think for myself, because it did come to a point where I didn't feel like I was thinking for myself. I felt like my beauty was doing the thinking for me.
That's very common.
So with that, I feel like when I awakened out of that, and I saw a lot of the ugly I was doing in my beauty, it turned me into a.
That's humbling. Sorry.
If you hear in detail, you'd be like, yeah, that is really humbling. So I appreciate that. But I would say, like, after that, I feel like I became in myself, I became an unattractive intelligence because.
And some relationship could do that to people too.
Right, that's where I'm going. Like, it can not only be like an actual person trait, it could just be an event in someone's time, that happened to them and it turned them into that for the moment. And they can also upgrade mind-wise, to that.
So what I'm getting, actually, what I'm kind of hearing, I'm hearing something where you were pretty much, maybe in a subtle way, in a
what way?
In a subtle way or in a direct way, that you're not beautiful.
At times I will feel like that.
Not feel. Have your partner ever shared that with you?
Well, no. I have my partner said who I am could be how do you say Viking. What was that word? Vagabondish.
Oh, vagabond.
That's not good.
Yeah, vagabond is like it's not a word that it's class
it's
you
like
as
a stray on the street.
Yeah, it class you as a kind of long term, short term, or not short term. Long story short is like trash in a sense.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, that would be the word.
But the thing is, we use words in a relationship. Also describe.
We should also be careful.
Yeah.
To your point earlier, be careful how we use words.
And piggybacking on, this is one of the things where I kind of put on the back burner. So remember you mentioned about the Bible. The Bible described that us human being, that one of the deadliest weapon human being possess is the tongue.
Life and death in the power of the tongue.
Yeah.
That's what I said.
So the power of the tongue is like getting a gunshot, bullet can kill you too and so forth. But the logics of it are not the logic, the metaphor of it, right? The metaphor of it is that the tongue is more deadly than a bullet.
Than a sword.
It's like a two-headed sword, right? And the Bible describes it that the tongue, because for me, I try over the years, I developed this method the structure where I don't let words interfere with my emotions. So you could tell me, I have people before in joke and seriousness tell me, go suck your mother, go, you stupid, you're dumb, fuck off, all the whole 9 yards, whatever vulgar language sometimes some people can use to describe you, describe you as some whatever case may be. Now, folks, I'm going to be real. I'm not going to sit here and tell you, I don't feel no type of way. Inside. There's deep down inside, sometimes words would get to me. The big difference is that you don't see it.
Right.
I don't allow you to see the effect if it does have an effect on me. But I also structure myself in a way that I restructure myself in a way that you use words or whatever foul language you want to use towards me. If we're serious in that sense. You use whatever foul language you want to. You describe in a certain way, call me certain names and stuff like that. it rolls off my shoulder. No, it didn't take me overnight to get to this level. It took some time. It took some practice. It took some structure. So I can sit here and you can insult me to the core of whatever word you possibly can find.
That shouldn't be tolerable, though. I don't want. I don't like.
It's not saying that
I don't want it to be tolerable.
you should tolerate it. I am not saying, but it pushed me to the point. Like, for instance, some people, I know of a few people where if you say certain words to them or call them certain name, they're fighting.
They're overly sensitive.
Somebody's going to jail. Right. So in that sense, yeah, but I'm not going to allow, I'm going to do my best to not allow that to happen to me, where if now you come in my circle, where in my space or what they call it, and physically putting harm towards me, then I would respond. But if you're just sitting there where you at and calling me names and bullying me and stuff like that, I'll drink to it.
I can't fly. I can't fly.
I'll drink to it.
I respect it.
I'll drink to it, sit there and stuff like that. Because at the end of the day, when you're looking at it, you're going to allow someone to take away your freedom. You're going to allow someone to take away your joy and your peace. Yes, the Bible talks about that the tongue is the most deadliest weapon. But I work with God in a sense to create this structure, this mechanism, self-mechanism, defense mechanism to protect myself from those, because people have called me names, people who even in
shame on them.
significant in the past usually called me names, and
so empathetic.
And I'm like, I'm sitting there, I'm like, okay. And it burns them more because I don't respond to it. So it like, this nigga, I'm telling him to do this and do that, and he's this and he's that, and
you not being bothered bothers people,
and that bothers them. That's so funny.
That, though I do.
That's so funny.
I love it. I love doing it to people because the reaction is outstanding. You can see the climax from when they're trying to when they just can't stand it anymore. They're trying to ignore that you're doing that to the point where they just get so fed up they want to tear their own hair out.
You're too unfazed about it.
It's too, like, it's really unsettling. I've had many people tell me, you're very scary. You didn't even say anything. You were just calm. You're just smiling. I was like, yeah, what I was supposed to do, address you? Right. I was supposed to acknowledge that you're doing that.
Right. I think we have to choose our battles. You understand me? Like,
fight and run away, live to fight another day, right?
I do have a problem with that. I'm not gonna lie.
How?
Because I don't want to fight another day. I want to fight now.
Okay, so so if you okay. So look at it this way. If you have, let me go to create this scenario to you. You have a bunch of females, right? You walking down the street and you see 10, 12, 7. Some are masculine, have that tomboy look. Some are girly look and stuff like that. But there's a bunch of them. And you coming down the street and you can sense like, oh shit, this is some type of trouble, because further up, you can hear them and how they're reacting, what type of, how they're talking with each other and stuff like that. So you may have some type of a sense that this is not going to go well. Me, as a single female walking, passing them, somewhere down the line, they may pick on me and try to stuff like that. So put in context now. You reach to the point where you're passing them, somebody out of there decide, let's start some shit with her and beat her up pretty much, right? So they started to trying to instigate stuff. They're like, yeah, she's the ugly bitch. Yeah, she's dumb. Yeah, look at it. And maybe even started touching you and stuff like that. Now, here's where you live and fight and run away. You live to fight another day. Ooh. So, in general, but I'm saying, I'm giving it a scenario, right? You walking down the street, you see 7 females. Some maybe are just all straight, all female, or just all straight up females. Whether they look like a butch, they're not looking like a butch, or they just females. But they are females who mean no good. They're looking for trouble. You don't know that yet. You may, as you get closer to them, you may sense that you are the only person walking by yourself at the time. 7 of them, 8 of them.
Right.
Now, somewhere down the line, you're passing them. They instigate stuff. They surrounded you. They try to fight you and stuff like that. Would you stay and try to fight them, or
so I can run and have them follow me home?
not necessarily? If you can escape,
Slapping somebody.
but you may hurt one of them. But you have 7 of them, so you slap one of them.
That means the person that I hurt, they're not hurt. They're damaged beyond repair, so that the others don't go too far. Because that's what I'm gonna do to them.
I think that's movie, because I've seen.
No, that's not a movie. That's real life. Real life.
I've seen
That's
that in a
real life.
movie called Jack Reacher, right?
That's real life. It doesn't matter. It could be in a movie, but it could also happen in real life. I'll get damaged, but that person with me in that group who decided to do whatever they thought felt right that day is going to get it too. Now the rest of them want to go through that. That's fine. I'm willing to go through that too.
Yeah, but
I'm not willing to sacrifice the peace that I have when I go home.
you have. You see, okay. So this is what I'm getting at. You
And
have
then
to
you go fight another day with backup.
right. So that may be it.
That's dragging people in.
Yes, that may be dragging people in, but at the same time, or you just leave it alone completely. It doesn't mean that you have to. Using the term, you fight and run away and live to fight another day, it doesn't mean that you have to return to that issue.
There's always an asterisk when you say that, though, because you can turn to run, and when you run, you die. You face your back towards danger, and you die.
But you have
I
7
can't
of
change-
them.
I
You're
can't.
always in danger. You would be in danger
You're
because
still in danger from
you're
running.
fighting.
You're still in danger from running. That's how I see it. My fight or flight sees it as you still in danger if you run, because you got to deal with that some other time. And what if that some other time is an unnecessary time worse than the time you were picked?
I think every situation.
Can't do
I think every situation is I think every situation is different. 'Cause it's like a case by case situation when it comes to that. But I think in general we don't want our emotions to outweigh our common sense.
Well, you don't want our emotions to collide with your intellect. See, that's basically what the topic was all
think
about.
that's
Collide
what
because you
I
got to
mean.
make a decision.
So, okay, my perspective is this. I understand your views. I think that, to me, it's not something that I would deal with or go to that level. If I can avoid problems, I am. Whether it may haunt me next week or next day or whatever it can be. But me standing there and trying to fight 7 people, knowing God's willing that it's not going to happen. Yes, I may hurt one of them. But me now, looking at it this way, me hurting, maybe they were just going to punch me up, give me a swollen eye, knock me in the foot or scratch me in the leg and stuff like that. Okay, maybe that's what was going to happen. Now, me going hurt one of them, put them some serious hurt in
It's
them.
going to infuriate the
So
rest.
now that's going to infuriate them more. So now, especially if they have a weapon on them, now I may get stabbed up. Now I may get shoot up or something like that. Now, at the end of the day, from that point in time,
odds just went against you once you start doing
exactly. Now, here's the thing. What I said, movie. When I use the term movie at your statement, what you made earlier. So this movie called Jack Reacher, right?
I've watched
Tom Cruise.
I know.
So
I've watched
it was
it.
about 7 of them.
Yeah.
Right? And he stood there, and when they came out to attack him, he said, listen, this is how this is going to end. This is how this is going to work. Right? I realized that you are the leader, the guy who was yapping him on. He said, once I take you down, I'm going to bust you so much at the end of the day. Now, when the others see you, at the end of the day, they're going to refrain from coming at me and stuff like that. Yeah. Sounds awesome, sounds practical and stuff like that. Now, yes, that did happen to a certain extent, but they still were coming at him.
Regardless,
they still were coming at him, because when he bust down the ringleader, they still were coming.
If you were to do nothing and you ran and those same people saw you run again, and they keep seeing you running. When they catch you in the corner, what do you think is gonna happen?
You're still in danger anyway you cut it.
You're
Because
still
if you
in danger,
if-
but I'd rather be in the danger where my foot is put down, so every time a person sees me, you know I'm fighting you tooth and nail and prepared to do whatever it takes to survive me.
no,
You
Angel
understand?
used
I
a
like
point.
that feeling than to feel fear of walking and then I'm gonna have to, double take back or run every time. Oh no.
Angel used a term. He says it's case in point. So you have to apply wisdom and know when to run and when to fight.
Right.
You have to know when to stand. Now, I'm not gonna sit here and say yes. Every situation, I get an opportunity, I'm gonna run. There's some situation where you probably can't run, and you have to respond. You have to put up some type of mechanism to fight and stuff like that. So, no, there's a situation what you have to do. But I am also talking in the contents of if there's a situation where there's a window where I can utilize that window to avoid this conflict. And even if I got into the conflict and I still can escape,
Yes, avoid. I would do avoid. Escape.
if I
Avoid.
can escape, I still would escape within that conflict. Because I don't know at what point in time. Now, I may get so angry that at least I was like, you know what? At least one of them. One I want to just get. And I get that person and realized when I get that person, I'm so angry that I do something to them, probably killing them. So what happened now? The possibility that I may go to jail.
No possibility.
Depends. It
Reality.
depends. It just depends. It depends. It's a high scale that you may go to jail. Just like if somebody come in your house. If you come in my house and you rob me and you're running, and I
Shoot you
have
in
a
the
weapon,
back.
whether I stab you or shoot you in your back, I'm going to jail.
It depends. There's a lady. There you go.
What?
Stand your ground law. There's a lady in New York, like
We in
about
New York,
2,
not
3
Florida. Different state.
But there's still stand your ground here too.
There's no standing your ground here.
There's stand your ground in your house.
Your house is defend your house.
In
But
your
again,
house.
I use the same scenario. If you in your house and a robber come in,
Right.
and they came in, steal and running, and you want to catch that person,
Right.
but your only weapon what you have is a gun or a knife where you can shoot, and you hurt that person in their back, you are going to jail.
Right. That's understandable.
That's
They're
what I'm
turned
saying.
away from you.
But-
Now, hear this. I do. I like you said for scenarios, right?
Mm-hmm.
I also want to say this is a very real scenario. A lady got a gun pointed at her about a year ago in New York, Bronx, New York. She shot that man, shot him dead.
Self-defense.
She's free to this day.
Oh,
she's
they
free.
have cases out there that
You get what I'm saying?
these situation where it's not everyone is going to go to jail. There's some situation where people are going to walk free based on those stand your ground thing.
Just like a boy got jumped nearby where I live. He got jumped and died. Four boys jumped him, and he got stabbed up and died, leaving out of the deli. I very much know that's a reality, but at the same time, like, this world is unforgiving. You could survive one day just to get caught by the same thing again. And I say that to say, stand your ground first, and everything else, I feel, unravels on its own. Like, in a fight or flight situation, that's how I feel. Like, yeah, there is sometimes you run. You run if there's 20 people and not 7. I'm running if there's 20 people. I'm running
Why
for-
not 7? The same 7 can hurt you more than even the 20.
Because the 20 is a harder number to cut down than 7. I have to go to and get supplies to deal with 20. With 7,
You may have
do
to,
on
I
my
mean,
own. At 7 people, I can get down on my own. But 20? 20, I need supplies at that point. I need to run to a deli, And
By the way, folks.
there's a number of things. But
yeah. But folks, yeah, we kind of stray, but we still was within the confinement of the topic still at the same time. So, in conclusion, we are talking about pretty fool and unattractive intelligence. So what I'm getting from Angel here. I don't. I'm not sure if I did share my point, but how I view things. I focus on intellectual, and as well as I focus on beauty. Would I want both? Yes. Is it possibly? Yes. It's rare though, and it's also from both sides. From both sides. You have female who are looking for that type of thing, and then you have male who are looking for that type of thing. So the issue with what I find at times is that us men choose beauty more than intelligence. What I've seen, I can be wrong. Your perspective could be different. Your perspective could be, but what I've seen from
That's the reality we live in.
from what I've seen today time is that most men choose
That's why a lot of
beauty than
people.
intellect.
That's why a lot of people are over their heads.
And this is one of the things that create problems in relationship. This is another topic. We are talking about unequally yoke. Unequal yoke. The Bible talks about that too. I don't want to get too spiritual, but some of the things in common terms, in common knowledge, where you are not. The better word is compatibility.
Compatibility.
Right. So, and that's what unequal yoke are referring to from a spiritual level. So you know that you and I could have the same views. You and I can have the same intellectual knowledge. Think great. But still incompatible. Still still unequally yoke. I've grew up in this church. My religion with my mom. And oftentimes they always define an equally yoke within the church that is someone who is a Christian and then someone who's not a Christian. Right. And they consider that as an equally yoke. That is true as well. However, also what is unequally yoked is someone who has what you mentioned earlier on, that I have different goals. Right. I may have a goal that I want to go back to school, I want to fulfill, I want to get my degree, I want to move up in life, I want to have a business, I want to grow and stuff like that. Meanwhile, I just settle where I'm at. I don't have no motivation to do anything else. I'm just comfortable where I'm at and stuff like that. That can be unequally yoked. I have someone who is escalating, who want to climb the ladder and on an intellectual level, on a society level, or whatever level, they just want to grow. And you have a person now, their partner is just sitting there that they don't want to do it. Everything what they have right there is fine. They don't see any growth. They're just comfortable where they are. That is also incompatibility as well. And that's how I look at it from there, where people can be incompatible within the same confinement or within the same intellectual zone.
That's a struggle I have.
I think we all have to know ourselves.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We all have to know ourselves, be able to assess ourselves pretty precisely. Once we do that, we're able to stay within a realm, right? We have to stay within our league. There are different dating pools. You understand me? Somebody might like you and they are out of your league. Before you know it, they start dominating you, start controlling you. So we have to make sure we have our standards, make sure we know what we're looking for. I think it's extremely important for us to know what we're looking for. That way we don't get anybody that's going to catch us in our vulnerability. We have to know, do I go on the street? I'm very vulnerable right now. Like, I'm still upset from something that happened to me earlier. Right. Do I go to a club where it's very fiery? Or do I wait to calm my nerves down? You understand? So we have to be in the right frame of mind to operate. And we have to make sure we put ourselves in the right environment.
So true.
If I want to scale back from drinking, or I want to stop drinking, I don't go to a party that's booze filled. You understand? I be around people who are gonna guide me, put me in the right direction. So you also gotta make sure we understand
key point
when we're ready to go into certain situation, because you're gonna get what you walk into. You see me? dating pool. I tell the guys respectfully, some of the guys that I used to roll around with in Brooklyn, I'm like, yo, the dating pool is too small, man. Somebody's gonna date somebody that already messed with somebody. I'm far out in Westchester. I get somebody in Westchester. I'll keep that. You understand me? It's kind of like the art of war, though. You be like, before you know, you became that man enemy because you just put yourself in his dating pool.
Got you. So, folks, we coming. I mean, we can carry this long, carry on this long, but I think
We ain't even
we kind of
scratched the surface.
we didn't start. I mean, some of these topics we're gonna have part 2 to it. So this may be one of them. At the end of the day, because this can go so far out pertaining to this topic. A lot of people we have different opinions too. You know that some will choose the prettiness over intelligence. Some will choose, and they would have their logical reason. They would have.
We all
their
have
reason.
our prerogative.
Yeah.
Right.
You understand me?
But what is the core of it is what practical, because again we are looking to grow and learn and
Right,
stick
that's what
together.
we're looking at.
So
What's practical.
we have to make decisions based on our goals, what we are trying to do. Remember, we are trying to make a relationship work. We are trying to make, whether it's business partners or intimate relationship, romance relationship, we are trying to make it work. So at the end of the day,
I don't want to mix romantic relationship and intimate relationship,
Yes.
because guys who are not gay could have an intimate relationship with another guy. A woman who's not.
no, I mean we're gonna. Look, listen. You have that's why you have
That's a big-
homosexual,
that's a-
right?
Yeah, that's
You have homosexual, so they have a relationship together, man and man, just like you have woman and woman.
No, but it's intimate. It's not romantic.
intimate and romantic. Intimate would be the foreplay before the romance.
No, I think
don't think?
intimate relationship is somebody that you call and you tell them about what's going on with you personally that you wouldn't want to be redisclosed or you wouldn't want other people to know about.
And that's what you would consider intimate.
Yes, intimate
I have a different-
relationship.
I have
You understand me?
Mm-hmm.
I'm buying a house. I don't want the world to know because unchewed food can still be taken away from us. You understand me? But you have somebody that you talk to. That's an intimate conversation.
Confident.
Okay, so
Right, like confident. Mhm.
I get what you're going, and I can see your point where you're coming from, and I understand it. However, in the context of what we're speaking for, the intimacy is relating to feelings, sexual desires, sexual into romance. It's emotional connection intimately,
And
and
that's like
it's not. I understand what you're saying, like intimate. Like I had, sometimes you hear in the news where the guy had
So a romantic. I don't want to use the word interchangeably. You know what I mean?
So they kind of interchangeably, because romance is still springing, because when you start a romancing someone, someone you care for, someone you like, or someone you someone that you have feelings for. What's usually gonna happen in that moment is that the romance now gonna turn into intimacy. Now, if you want to use your your explanation as intimacy of you sharing deep secrets, or you sharing some valuable information towards that person, only for that person here, you can run with that. But the context of what I am talking about is the context of intimacy.
You're talking in a romantic context.
It's,
Understand?
it's in a romantic context. It's intimacy where, again, and this is another topic for for another time, but intimacy can come in different aspects. As what you said before, intimacy doesn't necessarily mean it has to do with sex.
That's why I see what I wanted to. That's what I was gonna say. Like, I always thought intimacy was step one into romance. You understand? I always. That's how I interpret the definition for me. I always thought, like, you get into an intimate mood with someone and it leads leads romantically.
That's exactly what
from
it is.
there. You know what I'm saying? So
That's what it is. The context you're talking about. That's exactly what intimacy is.
right. So when I see it like that, I feel like any conversation that you have with somebody and it feels like it's in an intimate way, I always in my mind say maybe this might lead romantically. Is that a thought you guys
Right,
have?
because if we all have boundaries,
As a male.
right, if we all have boundaries, you wouldn't even be entertaining certain conversation
Okay.
or situation with people.
I mean, you can come also like, certain language used towards the individual. You can say, oh, you're being intimate. You're trying to be intimate with me. Now, it simple doesn't mean that.
That's why we all have to have boundaries.
Right. So it doesn't simply mean that, it's always or it's immediately connected to sex, but it's a level that it will get there, so forth. So anyway, so folks,
You have intimacy on the phone all the time.
yeah, I mean you have phone sex, you have phone intimacy. I mean, at the end of the day,
Now it's a video call.
Crazy.
that's still a part of the phone or the computer at the end of the day, it's still folks. Anyway, we come to that moment. We push a little further.
Thank you
This was
so much
very
for having
this was very
I want to say thank you before we go. Thank you so much for having me.
Definitely,
This
definitely.
is an
You're more welcome.
experience. Please keep me coming back here because I get to express myself in front of men who have the respect to express themselves back to me, and I want to say that is refreshing. So I would like to thank you both for giving me that opportunity. I
You're most welcome.
appreciate that so much.
Thank you.
Definitely. We're gonna have other guests on the show too. Invite guests. One of the things we are trying to do, we're trying to incorporate even strangers. At the end of the day, and we will eventually maybe. Angel will know someone and he bring her on the show. Maybe I will know someone. I bring them on the show and stuff like that. So we're gonna have you're gonna see different faces. It's not gonna be exactly consistent. Maybe my face will be consistent. We don't know where this is going. Maybe what we have here on the panel will be consistent. Maybe even Justin, Mike, maybe. So we don't know where it will go. But at the end of the day, we'll have. We're trying to have different viewpoints, not just from one individual, but we want to have different thoughts, so we're going to try to incorporate different people at all time if it's possible, but at the same time, whoever we can bring on a consistent basis, that's fine as well. But we thank you for stopping by here at the garage, and feel free to join us again,
I have to.
and
This was
share.
so
Definitely, we have a lot of topics on this relationships though, and there's so much stuff. There's a couple of them that I really want to talk about, but we're gonna go down and try to go in order and stuff like that. And my man Angel here.
Thank you. Far too kind.
Far too kind. Our politics show. We didn't get to do it this week, but we will move forward continuing our politics show, or law, or technology and finance show, again, which is Mike and Mike. But again, we thank you, and for stopping by here, Angel, as usual, and yours truly, Mike. We pray and trusting that you will like, share, and subscribe. Tell a friend, share a friend. Tell everyone you can share with. And again, as what I promise is that we, as the Garage Group, and just here collectively, that once we start reaching a certain level of a level of recognition, a level of monetary funds, we will start to returning back to you as the public, because without you, we will not survive.
Right.
So once we started giving out gifts. We're gonna start giving away iPhones, some watches, maybe $100, $200 and stuff like that. We are going to do that once we reach to the level of those. So continue supporting us. We cannot do it without you. Continue supporting us and share with a friend, tell a family member, tell everyone you can. So we spread it on the internet, Facebook, TikTok, wherever you can go. Tell them, check out the garage. It's very intuitive. Provide structure discussions, whether it's in politics or different topics and stuff like that. So thank you for joining us and help us to continue growing this channel. Anyway, without further ado, we will see you next week, same time, same place for a politics show, Mike and Mike, and possibly moving forward our relationship show. Again, thank you and see you next week, same time. Peace.